INOPS just confirmed the nuke that destroyed the Philadelphia was launched from this area. With Nod on the run and nothing to lose, it's likely they'll launch their full nuclear arsenal. Obviously, we can't let that happen. Take out the silo and the facility that controls it, Commander. This one is payback for all those who died on the Philadelphia.
Building. Establishing video uplink.
Nod's about to unleash another nuclear attack, Commander. You need to disable their launch site quickly, then marshal your forces and take the whole damn facility out.
Incoming transmission. This nuclear facility is a threat to all of GDI. We must destroy it before they can launch another missile. These structures house the Nod headquarters that administrate Nod in this region. Destroy them to end Nod's control of Egypt.
Welcome back, Commander.
Missile squad ready for combat.
This Nod base is well fortified, especially at the entrance. Look for additional passages to breach the base. Enemy units.
So, as is getting pretty standard at this point, I'm starting to have to restart quite a few times in order to get the exact build order that you probably really need. This is not only reserved for defensive structures or just regular buildings, but also units as well.
Construction complete.
For example, we have the nuclear missile silo to deal with, and we have a lovely hard-to-see timer at the bottom left, which I missed in a prior video. But
enemy units sighted.
Because of the stringent limitations and the fact that I don't want to be nuked and I don't really know quite what that will look like,
how's our position?
Yeah, we have a bit of a timer on our hands.
There he is.
Nuclear missile will launch in 5 minutes.
Now, there is one nice thing that the game does, despite the very short time limit on destroying or preventing the nuclear missile from launching. We only technically need to unpower it. Unpowering the nuclear silo will reset the timer, which gives you, another 6 or 7 minutes, whatever it was. As with most missions that I'm playing through and discovering more and more, there's a very large need for securing Tiberium deposits. It just never quite feels like you have enough. There's also quite some dangers involved with this mission. With regards to the opening, I need to get my Tiberium refinery set up on the bottom right part of the map because blue Tiberium is very good. But you have to deal with at least 2 Venoms, and missile squads just are not good against them. You also have to deal with a new Nod unit that I'm not going to elaborate on just because, well, frankly speaking, it's another one of those situations where we will see as time progresses for the Nod campaign. Suffice to say that it's a long-range unit that can be particularly annoying for base defenses.
Let's go.
Unit under attack.
What do you
Establishing
need?
video uplink.
What's the call?
Greetings, Commander. I trust you've enjoyed your small triumphs thus far, because this is where your stirring success story ends. Tragically, I'm afraid.
Tank division.
New bonus
Sniper team ready.
objective.
Where's our next target? It's under control. To move.
So, despite being very tight on time, the fact that the zone troopers can really jet along, their assault packs or jet packs are just very fast on recharge, which makes it very useful to have and use.
Our base is under attack.
Sadly, I did have another reason to restart this mission as well, which is that there's a bonus intel that I missed. I'll elaborate a little further into the mission, but suffice to say that it's kind of an annoying thing to have to deal with.
Ready for action.
I do save in missions,
Funds.
and there's been some cuts where that's more or less obvious, but generally speaking, unless I'm in a really good spot, save won't really help me. I usually have to just replay the mission entirely.
Unit under attack.
We got it. Ready for action. Pin him down. Have some of this. Let's get over there. That's right.
If it wasn't for the infantry there, I would be going after the crane that they have. Although, while I was playing this, I don't think it really mattered. Specifically because by the time that you would destroy the crane and do anything to prevent it from being rebuilt, it would just be rebuilt. Cranes aren't necessarily expensive or too long to build in my experience, and the AI even less.
Hit it. Troopers in the field. What do you need? Move.
Unit under attack.
It's under control. Have at it. Sit tight. Troopers ready for action. Keep them coming. Go, troopers. Get a load of this.
As has been mentioned before, the zone troopers, you know, 1-2 squads of them,
What's the call?
they're still good, but the more you just pile in, the more you can just kind of melt a unit instantly. Obviously, this applies to any unit that you can mass up in such crazy numbers. But yeah, essentially, you want to flood the enemy base with zone troopers. If you can, build up a lot of tanks in order to
We gotta get a load.
basically just fill out your defensive needs.
Shut this.
And we can see here how maybe jumping everybody into one pile is not a really good idea when shredder turrets are around.
We're here. Sit tight.
But regardless, getting a lot of tanks because you'll want to push later on, and going through the main gate with zone troopers is not necessarily the best way to do it.
What do you need?
Unit promoted.
Want some more?
We can also see that they are still building, so we need to prevent them from doing so.
Get a load of this.
And thankfully for me, the Nod base just does not have its main production facilities at the rear of the base.
That's right. Predator rolling out.
I forget if I do it in this run or not, but there is one limitation to the healing powers of the armory, as well as the secret shrine, I think it is, for the Nod side. The major problem that you end up having is that units can only heal one at a time, and they have to occupy the building in order to do so, which basically just means that if you have a whole stack of units, like I do in my first control group of, what is it, like 13 units or whatever, you have the massive problem of not being able to heal them in any affordable amount of time. If I wanted to heal everybody, it would take me like 5 days to do so. It's just kind of unfortunate that that's the case, rather than it being a big problem, especially since right now I've basically won the mission. Now, what's not mentioned, one, annoyingly, you can't generate constructible terrain, as seen in previous games. I'm pretty sure we've already known that for quite some time. However, it's nice to actually finally demo it in a game setting. But as I was saying, one of the issues with the bonus objectives that isn't told is that it's one of these civilian structures. You basically have to destroy all the big ones, I believe, or just that one. It's claimed to be a silo. There's nothing that really indicates that, and essentially that's one of the intel things that I had missed.
Objective complete.
We're here. Sit tight.
Honestly, with the amount of zone troopers that I had,
That's right. What's the call?
and just going through and destroying their main production, there's not much that Nod can really do to prevent you from winning.
Upgrade complete.
Once the nuke is down, they don't have anything big to throw at you, and they've already spent enough time throwing, beam cannons and scorpion tanks and everything else at your defensive line, so that it doesn't really matter anymore.
Select target.
Confirmed. Airstrike's on its way.
Target. Select target.
Honestly, the biggest thing to worry about is maybe some defenses here or there, in case they're still powered or if they're still able to attack while unpowered. But that's about as much as you can expect from a sign of life from the Nod base.
What's the call?
Upgrade complete.
And since I have a ton of money, why not just show off all the different things that you can call in? At the moment, anyways.
Detected. Insufficient funds. Objective complete. Mission accomplished.
Leaked reports of Nod using WMDs has paralyzed an already reeling populace here in Vancouver.
But we've just learned that a series of daring GDI raids in North Africa have eliminated the WMD threat,
driving Nod forces in the region underground. However, we now have word that Nod forces are starting to converge on Sarajevo. There's even some speculation that a new Nod temple may have been secretly constructed beneath the ruins of their old temple, destroyed back in the First Tiberian War.
I'm sorry, but I do not have reliable intel on this new Nod temple in Sarajevo at this time.
That's what you said about the Casabad lab. But clearly, somebody in the military had that intel.
Evidently. But one simple communications error is nothing to start a controversy over. The situation has been rectified, I assure you. Next.
Does that mean you're now making all the strategic military decisions?
Oh, now that's what I call jumping to conclusions. Look, will I be deciding how many tanks to deploy, what kind of missiles to fire, what color camouflage to wear? Of course not. But I will be involved in all of the important decisions from this point forward. Believe me, Nod will reap what it sows.
Mr. Boyle is correct about one thing. Nod will reap what it has sown. The seeds of GDI's destruction. Righteousness has only one allegiance, and that is to the oppressed. Our sacred brotherhood, inheritors of this glorious Tiberian world. Look to the skies, my children. A new dawn is rising in the east. Ascension awaits the faithful.